Well, greetings and hello there, everybody. It's me, your beloved Star Wars Dad Nooch Too Good, and we're going to address a question today. I've been doing this grand experiment over the past year plus of spending $100 a week on my Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes account. It's gotten me to where I am right here on the screen with lots of cool stuff, lots more cool stuff incoming. But the question today is, what exactly does it take as far as money and time? How much does it cost you out of your wallet and out of your time to get to the end game in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes? And we're going to look at a few places here to kind of explore what we mean by end game first, and then we'll take a look at some of my accounts over time, where I've been, where I'm going, and how we can, well, we'll take a look at those accounts, where they got with the resources available, and then kind of extrapolate that out to figure out what it really costs you as far as time is money. Time is money. How much time? How much money? And of course, you're going in American dollars, so get your conversion tools out. I don't know, and let me know what it costs in your currency as well. But the first place I want to stop here is in Grand Arena right now. So I'm in Kyber 3. If you go and take a look at the leaderboards, you know, if we look at the end game, we most of the time are talking about getting to Kyber 1, right? Where are the players that are in Kyber 1? We feel like that is the end game for us in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. Now, I don't really want to look at one of these accounts because I want to look at an account that's in Kyber 1 and see, what does that account look like? What does an end game account look like? Now, I don't want to go to one of the top 50. That doesn't seem fair. There are a couple thousand accounts in Kyber 1, maybe a few thousand in Kyber 2. I don't know. And recently they've been scrunching people out of Kyber 1 again. After we expanded up, we're kind of contracting back down. It's been interesting, but what we're going to do is to kind of mirror this. If you want to look at the last player in Kyber 1, instead let's take a look at the top player in Kyber 2, Chippy Chipperson. Chippy Chipperson, I'd love to hear from you. If you are watching this video, give me a little comment or something. If anybody knows Chippy Chipperson, reach out, bring him over, get him to make a comment on this video, him or her, whatever. So the first thing I'm going to look at with Chippy Chipperson is the mod score. There it is. We've got a really good mod score, 10.21, 20.28. I'm going to tell you right now, if I pull up my my table here, because I know that mod score puts me in a good place. If we look at Chippy Chipperson's Galactic Power, 11.884. So if I go over to my mod score table here, let's take a look at that. What were we at? We were at 11.884. That's how we recognize here. We are up here. This is where Chippy Chipperson is at. One of the best mod scores we've seen. So right up here, just way above the trend line. Well, it's hard to get way above over here, but you know, above all the trend lines, doing really well with the mods. Down here is blue. Blue meaning your overall mods, and orange meaning your top 110 mods. Chippy Chipperson has done a great job farming mods. Actually, one of the top 5-ish mod scores, these 5 or 6 mod scores we've seen on this channel, period. So let's take note of that first, that to get to the top, to get to the end game, you've got to have your mod score in place. You've got to have some really good mods. If you want to be specific about it, mods over 20 speed, 43, 89, 109, 116, 158, plus 56 more. That's going to be 214, 240, 250 mods. I might be a little bit out there. You guys let me know, but 250 mods over 20 speed. And look at the ones at 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13. A lot of really good mods. This is a very, very good, well-modded roster. That's first thing we look at. If you're going to get the end game, you got to get a lot of mods. That's the challenge for looking at your time frames, too. It's the longer you've been in the game, the easier it is to have a bunch of great mods. The shorter you've been in the game, the more your mods are going to suffer, right? We know that is also true of Zetas and Omicrons as well. Datacrons can be farmed, but those are the mods, Zetas, Omicrons are the big holdbacks for most people. Now, we got all 8 Galactic Legends. We got Third Sister. We got Terry Malkos. We got Darth Malgus. Let's look at what is not on the roster. Shin Hati, Great Mothers. Morgan Elspeth is not farmed yet. We got the Night Trooper, Dead Trooper, Priya, Captain Enoch. Those are being farmed. If I had to guess, I would bet this player's going to unlock a Galactic Legend Ahsoka day 1. Hey, no ETH Koth. So no ETH Koth crown for this guy. He did not purchase that bundle, probably because he had all the rest of it going on. and we take a look, the Ewoks, Paploo's Gear 12, the Geos are Gear 12, some of them. And yeah, so that's what we're looking at with this roster. Pretty much everything on the roster is what you need to get to the end game in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. The Datacrons, you've got to have some good, solid Datacron farming. One of those big reasons is if you're going to farm these Datacrons and get them all the way to the max level, you got to have the character on your roster to make it work. If you don't have Triple O on your roster, if you don't have Visas Mar on your roster, if you don't have Moff Gideon on your roster, if you don't have these characters all on your roster, then these Datacrons are good, but not maxed out. Not really doing it for you. I'm going to guess he's got Luthen Rael also. Let's just do it this way. Luthen? Yep, there he is. Luthen Rael, 7, Relic 7. Got the Omicron and got the Zeta on him. So, that is the look. And if we look at his ships, just all the ships are going to be farmed. You can't get past it. You got to have all 3 major fleets here. You got to have the Malevolent. These are all done. All these fleets are done. Look at the weakest of them. It's probably going to be his Separatist fleet, actually, because he's got, I think, Sunfat. Yeah, a couple of Gear 12s in there. So that's his weakest fleet. But all these fleets are farmed. So that's what we're just going to say. That is what an end game roster looks like when you're looking at getting there in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. How do you get there? Well, to answer that, let's go take a look at a couple of my accounts and talk about the journey where I got with them. And I promise you, we're getting around to how much time it's going to take and how much money it's going to take. But let's go look at my accounts, because that's the reason I've been doing all this stuff, is to experiment so we can actually have a gauge of what it takes to get to the end game, mid game, etc. in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. And what's in front of you right now, this is my free-to-play account at 3.5 years. So 3.5 years in, I had farmed my free-to-play account to 8.1 million. I do think, since I let this go in May, we've had these big updates later. I think right now you could probably do this free-to-play in 2.5 to 3 years. I really do. I think you can get, so I got Sith Eternal Emperor, Jedi Master Kenobi, Supreme Leader Kylo. Those are my 3 Galactic Legends. You can even see Grand Inquisitor down there. So I've done my Inquisitor farming. I've done a lot of great farming on this account, including the Leviathan. I don't know if I'm going to be able to find the Leviathan here. There's the ships. Let's go. Yeah, including the Leviathan, not showing here. Is it showing there? There we go. There it is. Leviathan. So I had farmed Executor Leviathan, no profundity. So 8 million, 3.5 years. The farming is faster now. I think this would be 2.5 to 3 years, probably closer to 3 years of free-to-play farming if you're in a good guild, you're doing stuff right, etc. So 2.5 to 3 years get you to here. The one thing about free-to-play gaming in Galaxy of Heroes and any other mobile game you play, you're probably never going to really truly get to the end game. You have to strategize. You have to put teams together that can punch up, that can climb above, that can make you better than your roster shows. Things like not upgrading. You can see I've got +3. I didn't upgrade any of the basic abilities on any of these capital ships because it just wasn't. You don't use those basic abilities very often, so it was just a waste of prestige for me. So 3.5 years. That's what you can get free to play. I think it's more like 3 years now. It could be a little bit less even. That's what you're going to get in free to play. The great thing about Galaxy of Heroes is you can play free to play or light pay to play. You don't have to be in the end game, and you still have a lot of fun. You don't have to be at the end game to have a blast playing Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. But let's go take a look at another account of mine. Now, this is the account you're looking at right now, the Nooch 2 Lightspeed account. It was Nooch 2 Hyperdrive at the time. This was 1 year in, and at 1 year in, I had spent just under $1,000. So at this point, I've sunk about $6,200 in the account because I spent $100 a week for the last year. This is a year-end 4 million. The biggest thing I got on this account was the Executor. That was the goal, to get Executor. And I was in the process of farming for, as you can see right up there at the top, Galactic Legend Leia. So that's when I started spending. And then a month later, boom, Lightspeed bundles, which changed everything up. So the main goal when I started this account and for a year was keep myself constantly going 3 nodes of regular, mod, Cantina, and Fleet Energy every single day. I didn't want to have one day go by where I couldn't farm all 3 nodes of those, and I did that for a year. It got me Executor, and it got me a lot of these meta/core teams. You got your CLS there, we got Imperial Troopers, Bounty Hunters. What else we got on the roster? We got Gear 12 Geos, we got Jedi Knight Anakin. We're working on a Traya team. So we got a lot of great stuff on this account. Wampas there, of course. So after a year of spending, you know, we'll say $90 a month, that's what you can get in Star Wars. That was $1,000 of spending for a year. And again, I think it would get you more now because of the way free-to-play works for the first month of the game. They slice 2.5 to 3 months off the initial part of the game. So I think you can get to this faster now than you could at that time. Let's jump back into where my account is right now and put all this together and see where it leaves us. So here we are back in the account. This is not my account. I'm leaving that in. The bloopers get left in. The bloopers are right here in the middle. This is my account. I was like, I don't have Lord Vader, do I? Did I get Lord Vader? So I've got 5 Galactic Legends. A year later, spending $100 a week, and we talked about this. I'm not going to go in depth, but 5 Galactic Legends. We got Gungans. We got Darth Bane. We got a bunch. We got Starkiller. We have a bunch of the Proving Ground / Conquest heroes that aren't upgraded, like Terran Malicos. Who else is there? I don't know. Fat Boba's down there. Luthen is ready to go, but I have nothing to do with them at this point, so I have not activated them yet. So a lot of other characters at level 1. Reva's at level 1. I don't have my Inquisitors up yet. So there's still a lot of work left to be done on this account. I've got to go get my Inquisitors. I got to get Leviathan. I've already got Executor and Profundity on this account, so those 2 things are done. I got to round out some of my fleets, like my Empire fleet is looking pretty good at this point. But Gear 12 doesn't quite cut it for Iden. This gear level for, what is it? Is it 7th Sister or 2nd? I can never, 2nd, okay. You know, that's actually, I'm told that's pretty usable there. I don't have Gauntlet ready to go quite yet. And I don't have my Imperial Super Commanders. There's a lot of things I don't have, but there's a lot of things I do have, and they're keeping me in Kyber 3 right now. 2 months ago, these things are keeping me in Kyber 2. I take a week of vacation, they scrunch down the top of the game, and now I'm in Kyber 3. It is what it is. So, 1 year in, 1 year of spending $90 a month. 1 year of spending $425 a month, okay? This is where we get with this roster. 5 Galactic Legends, a bunch of farming left, working on Ahsoka. If they launch Baylan Skoll like we're all thinking they're going to do, we all think they're going to do Baylan Skoll a month before Ahsoka, I'm going to be out of luck. If they're going to drop characters on me, I'm just not going out and doing these kind of packs. 12,990 crystals. For 12 of these, you're probably gonna get 7 times 12. That's gonna be 70 plus 14. You're probably gonna get about 84 shards of Shin Hati out of this. Is that the worst deal for $100 in the game? It's not even $100, is it? It's like $80 in the game. If you've already got a bunch of shards, now I'm actually thinking about it. So if I get those shards and I spend the $100, because they're going to come out with the Inquisitor that was on Ahsoka. I can't remember the name. Well, now I'm glad I said this stuff out loud because I could unlock Morgan Ellis, but that pack actually is kind of tempting. Not on day 1. It's here for 30 more days. I'm gonna have to weigh this out in my brain over the next 30 days. We'll kind of see how things pan out. That might be worth it for $80, honestly, on this account. Maybe I will get Baylan Skoll day 1. The problem is, as we said earlier, I don't got no Zetas. I don't have the Zetas required for this stuff. I have 59 Zeta mats right now. That gets me almost 3 full Zetas. And if we're looking at Zetas for Ahsoka's going to need 6. Baylan Skoll's probably going to need 3. So that's 9. The characters in between, they're going to go with them. You're probably looking at 15 to 20 Zetas, and I got 3 right now. And the packs for Zetas don't really make a lot of sense. So if I really think about this over the course of the next year, I do think we'll get some kind of Sith Eternal Lightspeed bundle over the next year. I don't know about Jedi Master Kenobi and Lord Vader. I tend to think not. We'll get some other Lightspeed bundles to kind of round it out. We'll see how that goes. So if I can add Sith Eternal here, then I got a farm for Jedi Master Kenobi and Lord Vader, which, to be honest, I'm not all that far behind on. If I look at my Galactic Republic, I've already got Qui-Gon up there. Mace Windu would be a pretty easy relic. Shaak Ti's not that far behind. Looking at Jedi Master Kenobi right now. Cody, Clone Sergeant, I can get these guys to relic pretty easily. Isla Secura, not a difficult farm at all. So Jedi Master Kenobi is really not that far out of my reach. And yes, I do have Wat Tambor at 7 stars. So Jedi Master Kenobi, not a huge reach. If we look at Lord Vader, probably also not a huge reach, although it's going to cost me a lot more Kyrotech than Jedi Master Kenobi will at this point. So Lord Vader's a little bit farther down the path, so that's going to be Sith Eternal. Sith Eternal not far from right now if I want to do it on my own. I still don't have, like, Sith Empire, you know, Darth Malgus teams, etc. So those are the Galactic Legends I got to get. I've got to get my Sith Empire up and running. I've got to get, like, teams like Dr. Aphra, Bo-Katan, Mandalore. So if I can keep up with what's going on in the game right now, if I can keep up with Baylan Skoll, if I can keep up with GL Ahsoka, and in the meantime get all these other guys up and running, get the Leviathan on my roster, get my Inquisitors and Third Sister, I do think I can have this account I'm going to say it this way. I think I can have all of the characters farmed that would be needed to call this an endgame account by this time next year. I think that 3 years in, having spent somewhere in the range of $11,500. Yeah, I know. just a disclaimer. Just a disclaimer. If I was not a content creator, and if this game and your support was not affording me an income, I would no way be spending like I would not be spending like this. There is absolutely no way. I do this for you guys, and so we can make videos like this where we look at what does it actually take to get your account to the end game. Now let's back up for a moment to what I just said. I think that a year from now, I will have all of the characters farmed and geared up to get to the end game. I mean, there's going to be more Lightspeed bundles coming. We don't know what those are going to consist of, but surely they'll consist of some of these teams that I need to get done here along the way. So I'll be able, I think a year from now, I'll be there. All the characters farmed. Will I have all the Zetas? Will I have all of the Omicrons? Will I have all of my mods geared up to, will I have a mod score that looks like Chippy Chipperson's? It's hard to imagine that right now because my mod score, I think I know I've got no, I did not have it in there, but this is my mod score as of today. 4.21, 6.69. I've got 12, 24, 30, 45, 55, 64, 69. I have 70 mods, over 20 speed. This is a far cry, right? It's a far cry. And if we look at the table, you'd see it, but I don't need to show you the table. This is a far cry from a 1020. I'm at 4.6. I need to be at 1020 or better on my mod score. So I've got to work on those mods. Now, I do have the Poncho Bros ready, and I have Jabba ready for, you know, Smuggler's Run 2 and for that Assault Battle. So I will be improving my mods. And it's a big focus of mine right now. I'm not spending 100 energy all the time, but when Conquest is not going on, I am spending some hundreds of my energy on refreshing mod battles extra times during the day. So not everything I need to get there. And will I be at 10 and 20 by next year at this time? I don't know. It's hard to imagine that I will be, but you just never know. You just never know. I'm working on it, guys. I'm really working on it. So let's get to it. How much time does it take to get to the end game? How much money would it take? For me, I'm looking at a minimum of 3 years and $11,500 spent. That's a minimum, somewhere in that range. Somewhere in that range. You could do it faster, like if I had started my account and spent $100 a week at the beginning of my account rather than waiting a year to start spending it. I definitely could have got stuff done faster. The Lightspeed bundles have definitely sped us up, although it puts us in a deficit for all the other stuff, the Zays, the Omicrons, the mods, you know the deal. For that. So it's always difficult to measure because what is your take on it? You know, do you want to go 3 years, spend $11,000, which is about 36, so $300. Yeah, $300 a month ish. You want to spend $300 a month? You know, you can get there in 3 years ish, maybe 2.5 if you start from the very beginning. That's how much time it takes. So, and if you're not going to spend the money, you're probably not going to get there. Here's the deal. I don't want you to be discouraged. You guys have watched me play on this channel for over 4 years now, and I'm having a lot of fun. We're all having a lot of fun playing Star Wars Galaxy Heroes, and I think the vast majority of us are not endgamers. I'd love to see more endgamers come on the channel, and let's talk more about what it takes to get there, because I am interested in getting there, and I'm going to be working this roster to get there to be with you guys. So we will see over the course of the next year how long it takes us and what we have to spend to get there. But I'm saying somewhere in the neighborhood of a 3-year period, $11,500 will get you to the end game. You can go faster or slower, but that should get it done for you. Maybe a little bit less time. And I will again reiterate, that, yeah, the end game as far as characters on your roster, will you have all the Zetas and Omicrons and mods that you need? Probably not, but you'll have all the characters upgraded by that point. And there you go. I know it took us a while to get there, but I wanted to make sure we had a full discussion. I didn't just want to come out and say, somebody's going to go in the comments and say, 3 years, 11.5K. Somebody's going to type that. That's what you always do, because you don't want to be on YouTube. You want to be on Reddit. You don't want to have a discussion. You just want the answer. If you just want the answer, I can make a post and say, here's what it takes to get there. What do you think of that? The cool thing is that a year from now, or whenever I can get there with all the characters, I'll be able to look at it and say, here's exactly what it takes to get here. I'll know exactly what it took to get there, and I'll share it with you guys at that time once we do. So that's what we've got for today. Let me know your comments, opinions, thoughts. Again, guys, this is a fun game. We can all have fun farming our favorite characters, and I even wonder, once I get to the end game, will it be as fun for me? In the past, it has not been, and I've kind of walked away from accounts that got to the end game, or an account that was at the end game, because it just wasn't as fun for me anymore, and I want to do more of this kind of stuff, this building type of stuff. But I do think if I've got my Nooch 2 Lightspeed account in here, where we're at the end game, and I continue starting these new free-to-play accounts every 12 to 18 months, and we do new farms, I do feel like I can feed the farming side of me while also feeding the let's go make some things happen in this game side of me alongside of each other, while providing some entertainment for you guys. Have a great day. I will talk to you soon, and always, of course, remember, Nooch 2 good.